One of the, not only San Antonio's brightest rising stars, but Texas's rising stars, with deep roots in history in east side of San Antonio. And I look forward to telling the story to Dr. Lizondo in a couple of years when he has his mural here pretty soon, is now the Bexar County Commissioner of Precinct 4. And he happens to be the first African-American elected Bexar County Commissioner in 170 years of history. Please welcome my friend, Bexar County Commissioner of Precinct 4, Tommy Calvert.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you very much. And thank all of you for being here. My heart was very touched when I saw the mural to the Gonzalez family. I felt a sense of the struggle that your father went through. You know, your father obviously was a trailblazer, and being a trailblazer means that you do things where you are marginalized, where you are ostracized. And it's not an easy place to be. Opening up in areas that were segregated, pools, integrating swimming pools. I mean, the universe's justice was when he was able to serve on council, able to integrate the city pools and parks that he once had to get out of because he was Hispanic. So, as I reflect upon this incredible art piece, I think all of us need to take the torch of Henry B. And we all need to challenge ourselves to ask, are we truly walking in the footsteps of Henry B? It's not enough just to have an art piece. This man did not struggle to integrate. He didn't struggle to increase affordable housing just for us to forget those who still need it. Are you walking with me on this? So when you convene in the convention center, perhaps you might convene with people who are homeless, who are struggling to make ends meet, who are struggling to make down payments, who are struggling to get access to credit and capital. You know, I have many stories with Henry B. I'll just tell you two quick ones. My mother, I didn't remember this story, but when I was terrible 2 years old, my mother first introduced me to Henry B. And I grabbed his nose and I said, "My, what a big nose you have." My mother almost died. She was completely embarrassed. He was very sweet about it, Dr. Ricardo. He was very kind. He obviously just laughed it off. And then I remember, because I often say I didn't have much of a childhood, my dad took me to Washington, D.C. to visit with the National People's Action Organization. We were about 2,000 people strong. We traveled to Washington, D.C., and I'll never forget, my father always gave Henry B. credit for creating the Community Reinvestment Act. Now, y'all don't know what that's done for us. But the Community Reinvestment Act, Henry B. and my father worked on that in 1978. And that is what told banks that you can no longer redline Hispanic and black communities. What is redlining? Redlining, the redlining is the reason that the west, south, and east sides are as behind as they are today, because people couldn't get loans for a home. Business owners couldn't get credit from a bank. And the Community Reinvestment Act said, if our people are going to give money to your bank, you're going to reinvest in our communities. Henry B. was a part of that. So we have a lot. We have an awful lot of work to do. I remember being up in Washington, in Capitol Hill, and the congressman welcoming me and the folks that we were traveling with from cities all across the country. His wit was respected, and we need a little bit of that strength. I honor his gentility, but I also honor the fact that he may have punched a man at Earl Abel's because he called him a commie. That's all right. We're past the statute of limitations, I think. But we all should strive to live, to be people who, when you just say their first name, you know who they are. When you say Henry B., you know who we're talking about, right? You know, like Madonna, you know who we're talking about. Henry B. We all called him Henry B. because he was our friend. He was our champion. He had been tested. He had worked in the vineyards for a long time for us. So I'm proud to carry on his legacy in the fight for affordable housing. And while he may not have worn it on his sleeve, maybe Charlie could tell us more about it. I think it's not only because he had the connection to the people, writing those letters, hearing their concerns, being in the streets, fighting on their behalf, representing them in so many ways. But there's something that probably is speaking even to his faith tradition, that he remembered that Mary and Joseph, when Jesus was born, were homeless. They were searching for some place at the inn. So may all of us have some place at the inn for somebody who needs it. Long live Henry B.
Thank you, Commissioner Calvert.